got another eyeball up. See, we see. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Okay, now we're right. Hey, everybody, we're back for the final events of the day for the Southern Nebraska Conference track meet. As we have the finals of the girls 100 hurdles. On the track right now, your fastest from prelims was Kylie Baumert of Sutton in lane 4. In lane 2, though, this is Kate Grease, and then it's Lily Cast coming from lane 6. Lily had the fastest seed time in the before the prelims, and she easily takes the victory in lane 6. Lily Cast had the seed time, had a prelim time, I should say, earlier of 17:11, but she takes the victory here at the SNC meet. That will go nicely with her long jump victory and her triple jump victory and her runner-up in the long jump. That will bring us to the guys' 110 hurdles. That will be coming up here momentarily. And lane 1, Colin Pining of Milford. In lane 2, Philip Price of Thayer Central. Lane 3, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury. Lane 4, Kyle Baumert had the fastest prelim time at 15.20. In lane 5, Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur-Claytonia. Lane 6, Will Saunders of Centennial. Lane 7, Colton Rezebek of Wilbur-Claytonia. And lane 8, Alex Buxton of Fairbury. So again, getting the hurdles moved up and reset for the guys. Of course, 110 meters for the guys as opposed to 100 for the girls. Don't forget that coming up yet today we will have the 100 meters, the 800 meters, in which we will have one section to run the finals of the 800. 300-meter hurdles will be run by heats and for the finals time. Then we'll have the finals of the 200, and then all of the runners for the mile will be running at the same time, but then we will have sections for the 4x1 relay and the 4x4 relay, which will conclude our events here today. We are still competing, well, not we, but they are still competing in the girls' pole vault, which is the only other field event yet to score. All of the field events, except for the pole vault, were competed on Saturday, and the weather allowed and the schedule allowed with the move today that we could get the pole vault in. So the guys wrapped up their competition a while ago, and the girls are down to a few competitors off to the south end of the track. But the boys on the track right now, this is the 110 hurdle finals. Kyle Baumert, the fastest time from prelims, he ran 15.20.
As soon as the race is over with, you want it up? Or?
Yep, we'll get into some more of the field event results that were from Saturday. We've got some video highlights still to do. We'll get the boys' long jump coming up after this race. the boys 110 hurdles. This is Kyle Baumert of Sutton out with a strong start. Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia giving chase in lane 3. Dylan Weichel of Fairbury on his heels, but it will be Baumert of Sutton who had the fastest prelim and seed time, and he takes the victory in the SNC Championship. So the girls 100-meter dash will be coming up here very soon, but first we want to show you the highlights and the finishes from Saturday and the boys long jump. In 6th place, it was Isaac Robertson of Fairbury. In 5th place, Mason Combs of Wilbur Claytonia. Nick Ruth of David City, mullet in tow. He finished in 4th. Colton Rezebek of Wilbur Claytonia would finish in 3rd. In 2nd was Centennial's Max Tomes. Max went 20 feet, 3 1/4 inch, and not shown because somehow we missed the guy that won, but that's okay. I don't know how we I'm not quite sure how we did that. Jake Stoner from Fillmore Central, 20 feet, 6 inches, was your SNC champion in the boys long jump on Saturday. So Jackson's going to head outside for some camera work.
And final call for the girls 800-meter run. Second call for the boys 800-meter run. And first call for the 300-meter hurdles girls.
So we are ready for the girls 100-meter dash finals.
Hayden Luttrell, please report.
Yeah, it's either Hayden or Aiden.
And we are off in the 100 meters. Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek had the fastest prelim time at 13:04, and Leah is going to come up with the victory. And the race for second, well, it's too good. I couldn't see it from here, couldn't see it from the video as well. Olivia Casper had the second fastest prelim time at 13.45. Sydney Stelling of Milford was at 13.50, and I can tell you both of them were right on the heels of each other. But Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek, your SNC champion in the 100 meters.
Results from the girls 100-meter hurdles. In 6th place from Centennial, Gearham. In 5th from Fairbury, Johnson.
So the boys 100-meter dash.
4th from David City, Sabota. In 3rd from Sutton, Greece. In 2nd from Sutton, Balmer. And the winner of the girls 100-yard hurdles from Centennial with a time of 17.11 seconds, of 15.66 seconds, Lily Cass.
Okay, we are just about ready to go here for the boys 100-meter dash. The lanes to watch: lane 4, Hunter Chervney of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 6 is Jackson Perrion of Sutton, who was second at 50 meters. And third was Max Tomes of Centennial. Tad Moldenhauer of Wilbur Claytonia was in lane 2. Hayden Luttrell of Thayer Central was in lane 1. Lucas Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia was lane 5. Taryn Zoltanko of Superior was in lane 7. And Luke Weedle of Thayer Central was in lane 8. So now we move on to the 800 meters. For the girls, we will have 2 sections for the girls 800. Take a little break in before that.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, and I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
So we have some final results from earlier in the girls 100-meter hurdles. In the finals, it was Lily Cast with the victory. Her official time, 15.66. In second was Kylie Baumert of Sutton, 16.22. Kate Grease of Sutton was third, 16.82. Fourth was Macy Swoboda of David City, 16.95. Fifth was Jael Johnson of Fairbury, 17.09. Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial was sixth, 17.38. Jamie Manns of Fairbury was seventh in 17.56. And Janessa Swanda of Fairbury was eighth, 17.84. The top 6 scoring points. So through 9 events for the girls, Centennial leads your team race with 63 points. Fairbury is second with 49. Thayer Central is third with 33. Milford is fourth with 28. Superior is fifth with 25. Fillmore Central with 22. Sutton with 20. Sandy Creek with 12. David City with 12. Wilbur Claytonia with 10. And Heartland with 5. So that will bring us to the 800 meters as the next event on the track. And again, this is section 1 of 2 for the girls. Fastest seed time will start on the inside of that first group, and that's Julia George of Sutton, 2:44.2, her best time, or her seed time coming in. Also in that bottom group, Brooklyn Epp of Heartland, Elizabeth Martinez of Wilbur Claytonia, Emily Gladowski of David City, Emily Johnson of David City, Harley Brose of Wilbur Claytonia, Bridget Linton of Thayer Central, Haley Spilker of Wilbur Claytonia, Maloney Beal of Fairbury, Zoe Castle of David City, and Eviana Mendez of Sutton. And some girls tripping right at the beginning, so we're going to get a restart there. In the 800, 2 teammates clicking heels. And we'll see if we're just bringing everybody back or if there will be a DQ involved. I don't think that would be the case, but we will see. So we are going to just try everything again. Section 1 of 2 for the girls' 800-meter run.
Results from the boys 110-meter hurdles. In sixth from Centennial, Saunders. In fifth from Wilbur Claytonia, Rezabec. In fourth from Thayer Central, Price. In third from Fairbury, Wakel. In second from Wilbur Claytonia, Zimmerman. And the winner of the boys 110-meter hurdles from Sutton with a time of 15.09 seconds, Kyle Balmer.
Bridget Linton of Thayer Central, your race lead right now. Julia George of Sutton is currently second. You see them 1 and 2 as they come off of that fourth turn and head back into that north wind, which is died down a little bit from what it was earlier this morning, but it's still around 15, maybe up to 20 instead of 20 up to 25 like it was a little bit earlier today, but still plenty of headwind as they go down the front stretch for lap 1 of 2 for the 800 meters. Again, that is Thayer Central's Bridget Linden currently in the lead.
Results from the girls 100-meter dash. In sixth from Thayer Central, Human. In fifth from Heartland.
The official results from the boys 110 hurdles earlier. Will Saunders of Centennial finished in sixth. Colton Rezabec of Wilbur Claytonia was fifth. Philip Price of Thayer Central was fourth. Dylan Weichel of Fairbury was third. Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia was second. And Kyle Baumert, a 15.09, your SNC champion in the 110 hurdles. On the track, we've got the first of 2 sections for the girls' 800 meters. And that is Sutton's Julia George, who has passed Bridget Linden of Thayer Central for first as they come off of that fourth turn and head for the home stretch. Julia George of Sutton, your best seed time in this, the first of 2 sections, looking to extend her race lead over Bridget Linden of Thayer Central. So while the first section of the girls' 800 meters finishes up, we can give you the official results from the girls' 100-meter dash. 8th place went to Cora DeBoer of Fairbury. McKenna Stutzman of Milford was 7th. Jamie Human of Thayer Central was 6th. Olivia Casper of Heartland ran 13:46 to finish in 5th. Danny Freeman of Superior was 4th. Maya Couch of David City was 3rd. Sydney Stelling of Milford was 2nd in 13.3, but in 12.95 was Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. Leah with the 12.95 to win the 100-meter dash for the girls.
What's that?
Is that what can I steal this?
It's the 100. The girls' 100?
Yeah, I just need the overall scores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's 10 events.
And now we're off and running. Your top seed in this race is Sierra Blackburn of Superior, a 2:26.56, her seed time. She will be wearing hip 1, and wearing hip 2 will be Caitlin Richardson of Thayer Central with a 2:33.64, but actually really close after Blackburn. Hip 3 is Davy Perrion of Sutton. Hip 4 is Daily Day of Centennial. Hip 5 is Makasa Learman of Fairbury. Hip 6 is Caitlin Adams of Milford. Hip 7 is Kate Hirschfeld of Centennial. Hip 8 is Kylie Pakta of Thayer Central. Hip 9 is Callie Caraher of Milford. Hip 10 is Celia Bontrager of Milford. And hip 11 is Ellie Oldie of Fairbury. That's Sierra Blackburn of Superior, top seed time and leading the race right now. Fairbury's Makasa Learman currently in second, leading that pack. So this, the quote-unquote fast heat of the two.
25 points. In fourth is Thayer Central with 36.
That is Blackburn still leading
In fifth, David City with 26 points.
over Learman of Fairbury.
Fourth, Thayer Central with 36. In third, Sutton with 39 points.
And now here comes hip number 3. That's Davy Perrion of Sutton.
Wilbur Claytonia with 75.
Makes the move to the outside of Learman as they go with about 200 meters yet to go. It's still Blackburn up front.
Girls team rankings. In sixth, Sandy Creek with 22 points. In fifth, Superior with 29. In
Blackburn,
fourth, Thayer
Perrion, Learman, 1, 2, 3 as they come off of turn 4 in the final 100 meters of the 800.
Fairbury with 49.
Sierra Blackburn of Superior had the top seed time coming in. She's looking strong. Sutton's Davy Perrion trying to run her down. Makasa Learman of Fairbury holding on to third, now striding out. Will Learman get second? She will. Will she get Blackburn as they go to the line? Not quite enough time. Blackburn does take the victory. So Blackburn beats out Learman. Perrion comes home in third. Your top 3 finishers for the girls' 800-meter run.
Here's real advice about parenting from some real Lincoln parents.
You need to listen a little more. Talk a little less. Let your kids bring ideas.
Constant communication and consistency makes it work.
The role of parents can make or break the future of a child.
Yes, there's a parenting style that really is proven to reduce drinking in teens. Learn all about it at talkaboutalcohol.org.
Well, while we get set for the boys' 800-meter run in Section 1 of 2, we've got the official results from the boys' 100-meter dash. Earlier, it was Hayden Luttrell of Thayer Central in 8th, Luke Weedle of Thayer Central in 7th, Tad Moldenhauer of Wilbur Claytonia in 6th, Lucas Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia was 5th, Taryn Zoltanko of Superior was 4th, Jackson Perrion of Sutton was 3rd, Max Tomes of Centennial was 2nd, and Hunter Chervany of Wilbur Claytonia in 11.48, your fastest time in the boys' 100 meters. But now on the track is the boys' 800 meters. This is Section 1 of 2. Top seed time coming in, and wearing hip 1 is Clayton Harris of David City. Has a seed time of 2:20.4. Aiden Swartzendruber of Heartland with hip 2 at 2:21. Other runners in this race, Harley Eichmeyer of David City, Sven Van Goch of Superior, Luke Templin of Thayer Central, Macdam of Sandy Creek, Pachulik of Fairbury, Brockman of Sandy Creek, Bach of Milford, Gray of Fairbury, Klauman of Fairbury, Almos of Sandy Creek, and Friesen from Sutton. That is hip 1, Clayton Harris of David City, who is well out. Maddox back of Milford currently in second there on the backstretch. Followed by Sven Van Goch of Superior, who is third. But this is your section winner, it looks like, Clayton Harris of David City, coming down the front stretch. Again, this is section 1 of 2. This is Maddox Bach of Milford, who will be second. Then the race for third. Is a pretty good one. They are all bunched up, and the hip numbers are all on the inside, so I can't really tell you who was who, but some good racing there in the final 80 meters of the 800. As you might expect, the cold and the wind were not exactly conducive to good high jumping. So some marks that were kind of low for the SNC happened on Saturday. A three-way tie for fifth, though. Matt Walker of Milford, you just saw. Jake Bargan of Centennial, and Micah Biltoff of Sandy Creek cleared 5.6 as their best mark. Not pictured is Mason Combs of Wilbur-Claytonia. He finished in fourth. Then third place, here he is, Dylan Starr of Fairbury. Cleared 5'10". He did clear 5'10", I can tell you that. Lost in the jump-off, though, to Seth George of Sutton, who also went 5'10", but your individual winner was Logan Horsley of Milford. Logan clearing 6 foot as his best mark, and up and over here easily. He would take the win in the boys' high jump. Well, it looked a lot different Saturday than what it does right now. Plenty of sunshine and about 60 degrees. We're only about 15 degrees warmer than what it was Saturday, but the wind chill is significantly higher. That's nice, even though with about a 15, 20 mile an hour wind. We have got the 800-meter run for the guys, and this is section 2 on the track right now. Zach Koss won the 400 earlier. He will try to make it a double here for the 800 as well. Has a 2:01 seed time. Second hip is Chris Meadow of Centennial. Third hip is Seth George of Sutton. Also in the race, Zach Pauley of Milford, Wyatt Bergen of Sutton, Seth Vlasek of Wilbur-Claytonia, Dakota Nunn of Fillmore Central, and Rayshun Foreman of Centennial. Also Dawson Hoover of Wilbur-Claytonia, Dee Maysel of Fillmore Central, Dylan Fisher of Thayer Central, Trenton Tice of Superior, Trevor Gertson of Heartland, and Houston Bruz of Wilbur-Claytonia. That is Koss leading the way in the 800.
This is the first lap. No, don't announce it yet.
Well, they can do the outer lanes, though.
Oh, that's a good point.
They can do the outer lanes.
Yeah, just tell them to start setting them up.
On the outer three.
Actually, Jamie Junker, Fairbury.
Jamie Junker from Fairbury, please report.
And then,
I hate not being able to.
yeah, I know.
Koss out front.
Setting up hurdles.
That is hip 5, Zach Pauley. No, that's, yeah, Zach Pauley.
We'll just tell them after the race. It's fine.
It's going to be, they're not going to come do it probably in cut and post.
No, they're not going to do that.
Jeez, someone's getting into it.
Seth George of Sutton getting passed by Dee Maysel of Fillmore Central, and also by Centennials. Chris Meadow, but that is Zach Koss of Thayer Central. So Koss of Thayer Central with the victory. Maysell of Fillmore Central comes home in second in the 800, and we will await the official finishers for the boys 800. We do have the girls 800 official times and marks. In sixth place was David City's Emily Gladowski. In fifth place was Elizabeth Martinez of Wilbur-Claytonia. Fourth place, Haley Spilker of Wilbur-Claytonia. Third place, Maloney Beal of Fairbury. In second, Bridget Linton of Thayer Central, and Julia George of Sutton. 248.84 was your winner in the girls' 800-meter run. Again, we just finished up the boys' 800, so we will be setting the hurdles for the girls' 300 hurdles. That's coming up momentarily.
Thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
Checking in with the girls' shot put from Saturday. Sixth place went to Keisha Solomon from Thayer Central. Sixth place to Shayla Meyer of Superior. Fifth place, Mariah Richards of Milford. In fourth place was Aurora Jungi from Centennial. Adrian Croker of Fairbury was third. Emily Welch of Thayer Central was second. And Erin Schmidt of Fillmore Central, there she was, came home with the victory. Erin's best toss was 39 feet 8 inches. And similar to what we said with discus, shall we say those marks come with a little bit of an asterisk, if you will. Kaylin Meyer was actually participating in AAU volleyball in Texas over the weekend, so she was not at the meet on Saturday. Kaylin's got the top marks in the state regardless of class in both of the shot put and the discus, and might have been real conducive to a ridiculously good mark in the discus, actually, from Saturday. But she was not here then, so she did not have a mark to put down. So congratulations to Erin Schmidt, the victor in the girls' shot put. So we're going to get ready for the girls' 300-meter hurdles, and we have 3 sections, and we're going straight to finals by time. So here in Section 1, Shelby Hine of David City in Lane 3, Cassidy Siebert of Heartland in Lane 4, Jamie Junker of Fairbury in Lane 5. Again, this is the first of 3 sections for the finals. Cassidy Siebert of Heartland, your race leader. Followed by Jamie Junker of Fairbury. And then Shelby Hine of David City. This is Siebert. Now one more hurdle to clear. And then we will be ready for the second of the 3 sections.
Results from the boys 800-meter run. In 6th from Sutton, Bergen. In 5th from Wilbur Claytonia, Hoover. In 4th from Sutton, George. In 3rd from Centennial, Meadow. In 2nd from Fillmore Central, Masil. And the winner of the boys 800-meter run from Thayer Central with a time of 2 minutes, 6.35 seconds, Zach Koss.
So in section 2 of 3 for the girls 300-meter hurdles, it will look like this. Mavis Hanson of Milford will line up in lane 2. Asia Nicely of Centennial in lane 3. J.L. Johnson of Fairbury, lane 4. Claire Thompson of Wilbur Claytonia in 5. Abby Resney of Wilbur Claytonia in 6th. And Lily Eichmeyer of David City in lane 7. Thompson getting ahead on the stagger. That is Claire Thompson of Wilbur Claytonia in lane 5. The first over that hurdle. And now on to the front stretch. Thompson laboring a bit as they run headfirst into that wind. And a stumble and a bobble that will let Fairbury's J.L. Johnson climb ahead on the second to last hurdle. And Johnson will just lean ahead of Asia Nicely of Centennial to come up with the heat victory. Again, this is heat 2 of 3, I should say section 2 of 3 for the finals. We're going to run these by time. But nice race there, and J.L. Johnson able to take advantage of a Claire Thompson mistake on that second-to-last hurdle. We do have the official results from the boys' 800-meter run earlier. In the finals, it was Wyatt Bergen of Sutton finishing 6th, Dawson Hoover of Wilbur Claytonia in 5th, Seth George of Sutton finishing in 4th, Chris Meadow of Centennial in 3rd, Dee Maysel of Fillmore Central was 2nd, and Zach Koss in 2:06.35, your winner in the boys' 800-meter run. Updated team standings. Again, with all of the field events done for the boys, so it's just on the track. Wilbur Claytonia is now up to 77 1/3 points. Second is Centennial with 65, and then drop back to Thayer Central in 3rd with 46, Sutton 44, Fillmore Central is 5th with 28. So that gives you an idea of how the boys' standings are going. So now we're on to section 3 of 3 for the girls' 300-meter hurdles. In lane 1, Kylie Baumert of Sutton. Lane 2, Sydney Hovel of Thayer Central. Lane 3, Madeline Wells of Thayer Central. Lane 4, Kate Grease. Fastest prelim time, I should say fastest seed time, 49.32 seconds. Brooklyn Guerin of Centennial in lane 5. Nevea Honea of Wilbur Claytonia in 6. Macy Swoboda of David City in 7. And Jamie Manns of Fairbury in 8. This the third of 3 sections for the girls' 300 meters. Hurdles, that is. Kate Grease, fastest seed time from Sutton in lane 4, 49.32. She is the first one to the second hurdle. She is the first one to the third hurdle. And she's the first to the fourth. So this is Grease from Sutton up front. Currently second is Wilbur Claytonia's Honea. And in lane 3, Madeline Wells of Thayer Central. But it will be Kate Grease of Sutton. Had the fastest seed time. She has the fastest time for the third section as well. So congratulations to Kate Grease. And a little adjustment of the hurdle heights. And we'll come back for the boys' 300 hurdles after this.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, and I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
Section 1 of 3 for the boys' 300-meter hurdles. We're running these for time and taking the time straight into a finals calculation. In lane 2, it'll be Aiden Trowbridge of Fillmore Central. Lane 3, Sam von Spreckelsen of Sandy Creek. Lane 4, Colby Homolka of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 5, Joe Hendricks of Sutton. And in lane 6, Parker Shuck of Sandy Creek. It would appear that von Spreckelsen of Sandy Creek is a scratch for this race, so Colby Homolka of Wilbur Claytonia, the first runner to each of the hurdles so far. Again, this section 1 of 3 for the boys' 300-meter hurdles. I've always said the two hardest races in high school are the 800 meters and the 300-meter hurdles. Mile, that's a little different mindset, right? The 400 is like an extended sprint to a certain extent. 200, 100 sprints basically, right? 2 mile, that's a different mindset, but 100 hurdles, basically a sprint, you got to do a little bit of jumping. 300 hurdles, 800 meters, different way of thinking. Totally different. So we move on to section 2 of 3 for the 300 hurdles for the guys. That will bring up Alex Buxton, set to start in lane 1 from Fairbury. Colton Stark from Fairbury in lane 2. Jared Newnenkamp of Heartland in lane 3. Maury Bautista of Sutton in 4. Dylan Vidichka of David City in 5. Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia in 6. Paxton Olson of Sutton in lane 7. And Parker Sintek of Sandy Creek in lane 8.
Clear hurdles and final second first.
So again, this is section 2 of 3. That's Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia that has a strong start, but it's also Maury Bautista of Sutton, who is one of the first guys to the hurdles. And Bautista has the lead. He is working closely, though, with Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur Claytonia. Mason takes the lead now with 2 hurdles to go, and Mason Zimmerman is going to come home with the section victory. Bautista will be second, followed by Heartland's Jared Newnenkamp, who comes across in third in his section. So section 3, the final heat
Results from the girls
from the 300-meter hurdles.
and 6th from Sutton Bomber, and 5th from Wilbur Claytonia Honea, and 4th from Centennial Gearin, and 3rd from Thayer Central Wells, and 2nd from David City Savabda, and in 1st from Sutton Kate Grease.
And the official results in the 300 hurdles for the girls earlier: in 6th place, Kylie Baumert of Sutton. In 5th place, Honea of Wilbur Claytonia. In 4th was Brooklyn Gearhan of Centennial. 3rd place was Madeline Wells of Thayer Central. Macy Swoboda of David City finished in 2nd, and Kate Grease of Sutton in 50.10 seconds was your race winner in the girls' 300-meter hurdles. Now we're on to the final section of the guys' 300-meter hurdles. Dane Miller of Superior in lane 1. Hunter Burns of David City in lane 2. Dylan Weichel of Fairbury, lane 3. Lane Evans of Wilbur Claytonia in lane 4. He's got the fastest seed time of 43.03. Philip Price of Thayer Central in lane 5. Adam Baker of Superior in lane 6. Colin Pining of Milford in 7. And Will Saunders of Centennial in lane 8. Philip Price of Thayer Central in lane 5. The first runner to the hurdles, and now on to the final 100 meters. Wilbur Claytonia's Lane Evans trying to give chase, but it's Philip Price of Thayer Central with 1 hurdle to go. He will get it. Philip Price taking most likely your victory in the boys' 300-meter hurdles. He just won the fast section. Congratulations to Philip Price. A little break. We'll come back. We'll clear the track of the hurdles, and the girls' 200-meter dash is coming up.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, and I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
The girls' 200-meter dash finals are getting their blocks set right now. We'll give you the field. In lane 1, Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 2, Olivia Casper of Heartland. Lane 3, Sarah Huss of Fairbury. Lane 4, Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. Lane 5, McQuenna Learman of Fairbury. Sydney Stelling of Milford in Lane 6. McKenna Stutzman of Milford in Lane 7. And Cora DeBoer of Fairbury in Lane 8.
From the 300 hurdle.
So again, the 200-meter dash. Then we'll have the mile runs coming up. And then we have, I think, 2 sections of each race for the 4x1 relays and the 4x4 relays, which will conclude things here. So moving right along for the afternoon. Girls pole vault looks like it is still continuing.
Down on the infield.
Down on the infield.
Down on the infield.
And we can give you quickly the girls 300-meter hurdles official finals. 6th place was Kylie Baumert of Sutton. Oh, we did that. Kate Grease of Sutton came up with the victory, 50.10 seconds there. So the girls 200, looks like Olivia Casper of Heartland is a scratch for the finals here. Lane 2 is unoccupied. Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek, your fastest prelim time from 27.54. And she is out quickly. This is a hand-timed 200 meters. The FAT timing, the 2 cameras are set up on the front stretch, but we're finishing this one on the back stretch. And it's Hatch from Sandy Creek with Sarah Huss trying to stride out with the wind at her back. Does Huss have enough time? At the line, I think that was still Hatch, but we'll wait for the official word. A heck of a race by Huss and by Hatch. Leah got out quickly in that first 100 meters, but Sarah Huss with those long legs was able to make it very interesting right at the very end of that race. But I think, and we don't have a great angle, I'm sitting in the press box, and our camera angle is at the south end of the grandstand, which is still not a great angle across the way. But we will see exactly.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, keep moving calls. Last call, boys.
Exactly what the final results were. So we move on to the boys 200-meter finals. In lane 1, Lucas Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia. Lane 2, Carter Osayan of David City. Lane 3, Max Tomes of Centennial. Lane 4, Clayton Denker, who had the fastest prelim time of 23.74. Clayton is from David City. He will occupy lane 4. Kyle Baumert of Sutton in lane 5. Hunter Chervany of Wilbur Claytonia in 6th. Christian Foz of David City in 7th. And Zane Grizzle of Fairbury in lane 8.
Josephine Blatney needs to report for the 1,600-meter run.
Howdy, sir.
The man with the microphone. Before the last event, whatever, just make one last announcement for burgers behind the grandstand. Okay. Just tell them burger for the road, whatever. You can NASCAR it up a little bit. You know? Okay. So we probably got 50 left or so. I think. And have you had one yet? I've had one. They're good.
They are good. I mean, people must have already.
down on the infield.
Seriously, that means you down on the infield.
No, nobody's down.
Boys 200-meter dash finals. Clayton Denker of David City had the fastest prelim time at 23.74. He is out well in lane 4. Also out well is David City's Christian Faze. Or excuse me, that's Baumert. That's Kyle Baumert of Sutton. And it will be Baumert who got the victory over Denker. There was a tenth of a second between them after the prelims. But it is Kyle Baumert that takes the 200 meters. So our final 3 events still to come. That means the mile for the girls is on the way next.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now. And I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
The girls' 1,600 meters is the third to last event of the SNC Track Meet here in Milford. The sun has stayed out basically all day. That has helped tremendously. Temperatures almost pushing 60 degrees by this afternoon. The wind has held on pretty well, 15 to 20 miles an hour, but it's a far sight better than the 46-mile-an-hour wind gusts we were seeing on Saturday when we effectively had a wind chill of around 32 degrees. So much better weather today, unless you've been outside in it all day. The girls' mile is 4 times around the track, and we have got one section, everybody racing in this one. Ashley Cruzy of Milford has the top seed time at 5:58.1. Josephine Blatney of Fairbury has the second fastest time of 5:59.18. So just 1 second between the two. Remember, Blatney beat Cruzy in the 3,200. So they will be probably, you would figure, neck and neck here again for the mile as well. Abby McGuire from Milford is hip 3. Elena Fangmeyer from Thayer Central is in here. Daily Day of Centennial. Also Jackie Shelkoff of Fillmore Central. Carly Chervney of Wilbur-Claytonia. Tennille Barber of Fillmore Central. Sydney Kinnett of Centennial. Odessa Orts of Heartland. Casey Stark of Fairbury. Mariel Ramos of Fairbury. Cindy Eskrit of Thayer Central. Allison Schaefer of Centennial. Brooklyn Epp of Heartland. Milford's Maddie Mullet. Topanga Rosentreader of Wilbur-Claytonia. And Ayana Roten of Fillmore Central, rounding out your field here in the girls' 1,600 meters. We do have the official results from the boys' 300 meters. We'll get you those just as soon as this girls' mile starts up. So the boys' 300-meter hurdles, 6th place went to Will Saunders of Centennial. 5th, Mason Zimmerman of Wilbur-Claytonia. 4th, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury. 3rd, Adam Baker of Superior. 2nd, Lane Evans of Wilbur-Claytonia. And a nice race for Philip Price of Thayer Central, 42.10. Philip was the winner of the boys' 300-meter hurdles. So again, this is the girls' 1,600. On the front stretch here of lap 1, Ashley Cruzy of Milford, Daily Day of Centennial, and Josephine Blatney of Fairbury. 1, 2, and 3 here at the end of the first lap of 4 for the 1600. A reminder, we will have the recording of today's events up on this Strive Sports post just as soon as we get home and get everything uploaded later on tonight. So if you missed something from earlier today, you will be able to catch it later on. Here we are in Milford, looking at sunny and near 60 degrees. Some wind, but, that happens in the springtime in Nebraska. Meanwhile, the panhandle of Nebraska has just been put into a winter storm watch. Cruzy, Day, Blatney, 1, 2, 3. At the end of lap 2. Fillmore Central's Jackie Shelkoff, Heartland's Odessa Ort, 4th and 5th. As they finish up lap 2, 2 down and 2 to go. And the girls, 1600. It's still Cruzy, Day, and Blatney. 1, 2, 3. Then Shelkoff and Ort, 4 and 5. Just under a lap and a half to go here in the mile. So one more time around for the race leaders. Ashley Cruzy, Daily Day, and Josephine Blatney. They are 1, 2, and 3. Jackie Shelkoff of Fillmore Central is still 4th. Odessa Ort of Heartland is still 5th. Pretty much that's been our order since about the first 100 meters of this race. We're going to keep a close eye here on the top 3. That is Centennial's Daily Day trying to make the move with 200 meters to go on Ashley Cruzy. Josephine Blatney, who won the 3,200 earlier today, is currently 3rd. And now the tough part. The final 100 into the wind. Day leaning forward. Cruzy trying to track her down. Daily Day, though, of Centennial is going to take the mile. Cruzy is going to finish 2nd, and Josephine Blatney will come home 3rd. 4th place You see it there, Fillmore Central's Jackie Shelkoff. Carly Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia will finish in 5th. Then Tennille Barber will finish in 6th. And Elena Fangmeyer of Thayer Central will be in 6th. Ayana Roten of Fillmore Central finishing up. And the boys' mile will be coming up soon. But first, we're going to take a look at the boys' shot put from Saturday. Your top 6 included Brady Peterworth of Sutton, Justin Slonick of Centennial, Connor Ashe of Fillmore Central, Sam Rempe of Sandy Creek, Jacob Rogers of Sutton, and Quinn Butsky of Centennial. With a best toss of 44 feet 1 inch was your winner.
Second call for the girls.
There's Rogers, and here is Quinn Butsky's toss for the Broncos. He came up with the victory there on Saturday. So the boys' mile is coming up next. Again, we have just 2 events to go after this one, the 4x1 and the 4x4. The boys' 1,600 meters is off and running. Your field looks like this. Ethan Smith of Fairbury has the fastest seed time of 5:18 coming in. Aiden Swartzentruber of Heartland. Also Trevor Gertzen of Heartland. Dominic Reyes of Centennial. Brett Miller of Superior. Logan Herndon of Wilbur Claytonia. Colton Height of Sutton. Landon Lotzenheiser of Milford. Braden Graham of Fairbury, Jake Shuck of Sandy Creek, Hayden Shuck of Sandy Creek, and Lance Ayer of Fillmore Central is your field for the boys' 1,600 meters. That is Ethan Smith of Fairbury. Again, a seed mark of 5:18. Currently first.
And 4th from David City, Ossian. And 3rd.
Then it is Sutton's Colton Haight, who is currently second, followed by Milford's Landon Lotzenheiser. And Fairbury's Braden Graham, currently in the top 4.
Heartland, Fairbury, Sutton. Heartland, Fairbury, Sutton need to report for the 4x1 girls. Heartland, Fairbury, and Sutton. Yes.
Heartland, Fairbury, and Sutton need to report for the girls 4x1. from the girls' 1,600-meter run. In sixth, from Fillmore Central, Barber. In fifth, from Wilbur Claytonia, Cerveny. In fourth, from Fillmore Central, Shelkoff. In third, from Fairbury, Gladney.
The girls' 200-meter dash finals from earlier today. Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur Claytonia was sixth. McKenna Stutzman of Milford was fifth. Sydney Stelling of Milford was fourth. McQuenna Learman of Fairbury was third. Sarah Huss of Fairbury was, in fact, second to Leah Hatch of Sandy Creek. Leah, 27.44. Sarah, 27.45. How they did that. Hand timed across the way. Very, very close and very good race for the girls' 200-meter finals. Now on the track, though, is the boys' 1,600 meters. 2 laps down and 2 laps to go. Ethan Smith of Fairbury, still your race leader. And it's Sutton's Colton Haight, currently in second, followed by Fairbury's Braden Graham in third. Then it is Milford's Landon Lotzenheiser. We've also got now the official results from the boys' 200 meters that was concluded a little while ago. In 8th was Zane Grizzle of Fairbury. In 7th was Hunter Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia. In 6th was Lucas Jacobson of Wilbur Claytonia. In 5th was Christian Foz of David City. In 4th was Carter Osayan of David City. Max Tomes of Centennial was 3rd. Clayton Denker of David City was 2nd. And Kyle Baumert of Sutton in 23.24 was just ahead of Denker for the SNC title there in the 200 meters. So Ethan Smith of Fairbury, still your race leader. And now Braden Graham, his teammate, has moved into second. Followed by Sutton's Colton Haight. Ethan Smith of Fairbury has had a strong run from the start. Use those long legs. Leans that head in, and he will have the victory in the 1,600 meters. And another 8 points coming from teammate Braden Graham as well. Sutton is going to come home third. That's Colton Haight. And then Milford's Landon Lotzenheiser will come home in fourth. Following them will be Logan Herndon of Wilbur Claytonia. Then Centennial's Dominic Reyes will come home in sixth place. Earlier today, in fact, the race right before this was the girls' 1,600 meters. Daily Dye of Centennial with the victory, 5:59.07. Ashley Cruzy of Milford, 6 minutes, 0.81, so a little over a second between Dye and Cruzy there. Josephine Blatney of Fairbury was third in 6:03. Jackie Shelkoff of Fillmore Central was fourth. Carly Cherveny of Wilbur Claytonia was fifth, and Tennille Barber of Fillmore Central was sixth. The team race with 3 events to go for the track meet. Centennial with 80 points, Fairbury with 77. Milford is back in third with 50. Thayer Central fourth with 44. Superior with 39. Sutton 37. Sandy Creek 32. Fillmore Central 27. David City with 26. Wilbur Claytonia with 15 and Heartland with 7. So that's 14 events scored, and it looks like the girls' pole vault is now done. So we're going to have the 4x1 and the 4x4 left as momentarily as the only things to score yet for the girls. And we have section 2 of 2 for the boys, 1600. Off they go. The field looks like this. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central, a 4:53.70. That's your fastest seed time. He wears hip number 1. Wearing hip number 2 is Keegan Casey of Thayer Central at 4:54. Other runners in the event, Quentin Jones of Sutton, Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial, Eric Leibel of Superior, Carter Roth of Milford, Nate Andreas of Sutton, Hunter Verhage of Fillmore Central, also Trey Fisher of Thayer Central, Damian Stewart of Thayer Central, Ryan Payne of Centennial, Brayton Jurasic of Sandy Creek, and Isaac Robertson of Fairbury. That's the boys, 1,600 meters. This is section 2 of 2. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central leading Keegan Casey of Thayer Central. Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial currently 3rd.
If you're hungry, there's still plenty of burgers down behind the press box. $5.
Trey Fisher of Thayer Central currently 4th. So that 1, 2, 3, 4. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central 1st. Keegan Casey of Thayer Central is 2nd. Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial is 3rd. And Trey Fisher of Thayer Central is 4th right now. And that means that Damian Stewart is 5th. So Thayer Central 2, 4, 5 currently in the mile. You get a good look at that top 4 right now. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central, Keegan Casey of Thayer Central, Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial, and Trey Fisher of Thayer Central.
Okay, so first zone, second, and third. Okay, so for the exchange zones, Thayer Central and Superior at the first zone, Milford and Fillmore Central at the second, Sutton and Heartland at the third.
So making the move is Keegan Casey. Slips around Garrett Nichols on the backstretch there. Just a stride between them. Jackson Hirschfeld currently in 3rd, followed by Trey Fisher of Thayer Central in 4th.
You want the exchange zones announced, correct?
I'll wait till
Do it.
No, it's courtesy.
Oh my god, you're killing me.
Yeah, I'm just doing it out of spite at this point.
Okay.
So moving, like we said, into first. Keegan Casey of Thayer Central with a lap to go. Garrett Nichols in 2nd. Jackson Hirschfeld still 3rd. Trey Fisher 4th. Damian Stewart in 5th. Ryan Payne of Centennial in 6th.
For the 4x1, Thayer Central and Superior will be in the first exchange zone. Milford and Fillmore Central will be in number 2. Sutton and Heartland will be number 3. And the flags are at the zone. I don't know if that means I'll speak track.
Garrett Nichols on the backstretch has reclaimed the lead. Jackson Hirschfeld has also closed the gap with a little over 200 meters to go. Hirschfeld now has moved into the lead. Hirschfeld of Centennial in the blue. He and Nichols have pulled away from Casey. It's a two-man race. It's Hirschfeld and Nichols. And Jackson Hirschfeld putting the hammer down. Hirschfeld's going to win the mile. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central will come home second. Keegan Casey of Thayer Central in third. Trey Fisher, his teammate, in fourth. Damian Stewart, his teammate, in fifth. And Ryan Payne of Centennial, I believe, coming home in sixth. So Jackson Hirschfeld with the victory in the mile at the 1,600 meters, which means we have two events yet to go today. Stick around with us, will you?
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
Final two events of the SNC Track meets here in Milford. It's been a sunny day. We can be very thankful for that. Temperatures warmer and less wind than what we saw on Saturday. As the 4x1 relays are getting set to get organized here, section 1 of 2 for the 4x1s. We'll have two sections actually of each of the last two events for the boys and for the girls. But before we get there, we can say that you can check out the discus for the boys that transpired on Saturday. In sixth place was Sid Farley of Centennial. Fifth place was Tyler Hooper of Wilbur Claytonia. Fourth place was Dalton Buxton of Fairbury. Third place, Garrett Fellhofer of Centennial. Second place, Quinn Butsky of Centennial. And first place was Jaden Hansen of Superior. Jaden with the best toss of 140 feet, 6 inches. There's Jaden, excuse me. Jaden Hansen, your winner of the boys discus. Again, that one got done on Saturday, and then Mother Nature said, you know what, let's not be doing any more of this running around kind of stuff.
Attention, medals and trophies will be given out in the South Gym. Medals and trophies after the meet will be given out in the South Gym in the high school and will not be out here.
Oh yeah, we're also supposed to do the cheesy clean up your camps and all.
I know.
Just saying. Here, you want to do girls pole vaulting?
Yeah.
I'll wait there.
They're getting ready to go. I never thought I'd get tired of talking. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
You don't get that from your dad, I don't think.
So again, this is the first of two sections for the 4x1. Heartland in lane 3, Milford lane 4, and Thayer Central in lane 5.
I couldn't believe that they were like brothers. Because like TJ was a teacher here before your dad came to town. And it was like, really?
A reminder, we will have the replay of both the prelim side of the running events today and the finals here that you're watching. They will be both be available on this StriveSports.com post. So make sure you check it out probably tomorrow when we get everything uploaded. But the replays will be up. We'll make sure and share those as well on our Strive Sports social media channels.
She didn't want to come clear up the stairs? Boys, wow. Yeah. That's okay. Thanks. He hasn't announced this, but here's another sheet for the.
Oh, we got a tie in this one. For 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And we have to.
We have the official results as the girls 4x1 settles in from the boys mile. Ryan Payne of Centennial was 6th. Damian Stewart of Thayer Central 5th. Trey Fisher of Thayer Central 4th. Keegan Casey of Thayer Central was 2nd. Garrett Nichols of Fillmore Central was 2nd in 4:55.89. Jackson Hirschfeld of Centennial was 1st, 4:54.71. The girls 4x1 relay, this is section 1 of 2 for the finals. Heartland in lane 3, Milford lane 4, and Thayer Central in lane 5. Pretty even as the second legs head down the backstretch. Now for the second handoff and the third leg, running with the curve. Thayer Central on the outside, Milford in 4, Heartland on the inside in 3. And Milford with a great handoff between third and fourth legs. And it's going to be the Eagles taking home the time. Again, we're running finals by time. So that was section 1, which means section 2 is coming up.
Final call for both boys and girls 1,600 meter relay. Final call, both boys and girls 1,600 meter relay.
Which means the boys 4x1 will have 2 sections. And then the 4x4 will have 2 sections of each, the girls and the boys.
Results for the girls pole vault. In 6th place, there was a tie between Andel from.
So in section 2 of 2 for the girls 4x1 relay, Fairbury in lane 1, David City lane 2, Centennial lane 3, Superior lane 4, Sutton lane 5, Wilbur lane 6, and Sandy Creek in lane 7.
Of the girls pole vault from Heartland with a jump of 10 feet, Olivia Casper.
So again, the 4x1 relay, this is the quote-unquote fast heat, fast section, if you will. Official results that just wrapped up a little while ago from the girls pole vault. We had a tie for 6th. Peyton Andel of David City and Jessica Hollist of Milford both cleared 8-6 and officially tied for 6th. Also clearing 8-6 but finishing in 5th was Claire Schumard of Fairbury. In 4th place was Ellie Oldie of Fairbury, clearing 9 feet. Also clearing 9 feet but winning in the jump-off was Shaylee Bloom of Wilbur Claytonia. Mackenzie Anderson of Thayer Central cleared 9-6 for 2nd. And Heartland's Olivia Casper cleared 10 feet for the victory for the Heartland Huskies. So with just 2 events to score after that pole vault was done, we've got just the 4x1 and the 4x4. Fairbury with a 3-point team lead on Centennial with 2 events left. So the 4x1 gets pretty important. Superior is your top seed, if you will. Looking pretty good so far. That's Sandy Creek on the outside there in lane 8. Superior kind of overruns the second handoff to the third leg, but the Wildcats still up front. Centennial in lane 3 looking pretty good too. So here's Sandy Creek in lane 7. Here is Superior in lane 4. And the Wildcats are going to take the 4x1. Pick up those team points. Sandy Creek will come home in second. Centennial will finish in third. So Centennial getting third ahead of Fairbury. I don't believe the Jeffs will score points there, so Centennial should jump into first place in the team standings with one event to go. So the 4x4 will decide the girls' team standings. We'll check out the guys' 4x1 coming up in just a minute.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, and I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
So the boys 4x1 relay, section 1 of 2, getting the blocks set right now and getting out to their appropriate places. Lane 3 will be Superior, Sandy Creek in 4, and David City in 5. Fastest seed time comes in the second section. Wilbur Claytonia, a 45.45. Sutton, a 46.4. Fairbury, a 46.5. Milford, a 46.9. Those are your top 3 seed times in the boys' 4x1 relay. You got boys team scoring?
No, Fairbury's got, well. There's team scoring after the 200.
Yep, I think I got that. So, all right. So, yep, we'll check on our team standings in a moment. We'll also give you an update on the team standings here. So girls 4x1 official results. Superior does win the event, 53.45. Second was Sandy Creek with 54.02. Third was Centennial, 54.16. And then from section 1, Milford's time of 54.71 got them 4 points, so it got them 4th overall. 5th place was David City in 54.72, and then Thayer Central, who is also in Section 1, finished in 6th in 54.97. Boys 4x1 on the track, Section 1, Superior in Lane 3, Sandy Creek, Lane 4, David City, Lane 5. Superior looking good on the inside there in Lane 3. Good handoff for the Wildcats. Again, this is finals based on time. And another solid handoff there from 3 to 4 for Superior. Sandy Creek is going to finish in second, followed by David City. So pretty good race there for Superior. Adam Baker on the anchor leg. So let's go back to the team standings for the girls with one event to go. It is indeed Centennial with the lead over Fairbury, 86-83. Milford is third with 54.5. Thayer Central 53. Superior 49. Sandy Creek 40. Sutton 37. David City 28.5. Fillmore Central 27. Wilbur Claytonia 21 and Heartland 17. But Centennial with a 3-point lead over Fairbury as the girls will have one final event. That is the 4x4 relay.
Sandy Creek got disqualified.
Team rankings for the girls: in 6th with 40 points, Sandy Creek. In 5th, Superior with 49 points. In 4th, Thayer Central with 53. In 3rd, Milford with 54. In 2nd, Fairbury with 83. And in 1st, Centennial with 86 points.
You guys have a copy of the 4x1, right? The girls finals. I just wanted to make sure before I.
So this is section 2 for the boys 4x1 relay. In lane 1, Heartland. Lane 2, Thayer Central. Lane 3, Fairbury. Lane 4, Wilbur Claytonia, the fastest seed time of 45.45. Sutton in 5, Milford in 6, and Centennial in 7. Going to want to stick around for the girls 4x4 because the team race is going to come down to it as well.
Ask if Exchange Zone 1 is ready.
Is Exchange Zone 1 ready?
Yup.
We're holding up flags.
Little white flags.
Section 2 of 2 for the boys 4x1 relay. Heartland in 1, Thayer Central 2, Fairbury 3, Wilbur Claytonia 4, Sutton in 5, Milford in 6, Centennial in 7. It's a good start out there in 7 for Centennial. Better start for Sutton. Wilbur Claytonia coming on strong in lane 4. Good handoffs all around. Wilbur Claytonia and Sutton. Now Wilbur surges into the lead. Cherveny versus Bommerts in the final 100. And it's going to be Hunter Cherveny and Wilbur Claytonia with the 4x1 victory. Can Centennial get Sutton at the line? That might be close enough to take a look at. Max Tomes on your anchor leg for the Broncos against Jacob Rogers of Sutton. A good race. We'll see officially how that checks out here momentarily. The SNC Track Meet brought to you in part by Cornerstone Bank.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, The people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
Here's real advice about parenting from some real Lincoln parents.
You need to listen a little more. Talk a little less. Let your kids bring ideas.
Constant communication and consistency makes it work.
The role of parents can make or break the future of a child.
Yes, there's a parenting style that really is proven to reduce drinking in teens. Learn all about it at talkaboutalcohol.org.
On to the final events of the day. First up, the girls 4x4 relay. We have two sections of each of these races. In Section 1, it will be David City, Sandy Creek, and Heartland. But in Section 2, we will decide the team race as well. Centennial has 86 points and Fairbury 83. Nobody can catch them. Fairbury's 4x4 relay has the second fastest seed time, barely, to Superior, both at 4:21, just really a 0.05 of a second difference between the two, but only 2 more seconds behind is Centennial. So Centennial has, like we said, the 3-point lead going into the 4x4, but Fairbury is right there. So any misstep along the way, and Centennial and Fairbury are going to have a very interesting finish. Centennial just needs to finish ahead of Fairbury, and that's all they really need to worry about. Fairbury needs some help along the way to get a victory. Fairbury would need a win and a Centennial third place or worse.
I don't know what that was. Leave me alone.
Oh, Andy.
Shut up, man.
Oh, Andy.
I got right paper.
Whose fault is that? It's highly procrastinating.
It's not like it was assigned like
3 weeks ago?
I'm already like a third of the way done with this.
We're off in Section 1 of 2 for the girls 4x4 relay, the final event for the girls of the day. First leg, in your lane all the way around. After 100 meters of the second leg is when you can cut in. They've got the big orange cones set up on the back stretch.
I'm not paying attention. I'm just holding.
Sandy Creek leading David City and then Heartland.
Results from the boys 400-meter relay. In 6th, Superior. 5th, Fair Central. 4th, Fairbury. In 3rd, Centennial. In 2nd,
You're stupid.
It's okay.
wait, it was the same.
Is it?
It was the exact same. It was the exact same.
Section 2 won it all. Section 1, yeah.
Correction, results from the boys 400-meter relay. In 6th, Superior. 5th, Fair Central. 4th,
Sandy
Fairbury.
Creek still leading the way here
3rd,
in the
Centennial.
first section of 2 for the girls 4x4 relay.
The boys 4x1.
David City second, Heartland is third.
24.44 seconds, Wilbur Claytonia.
On my sheet, Aaron Bruning running the second leg for Sandy Creek, Lily Eichmeyer for David City, and Allison Croker for Heartland. At least that's what's on my sheet.
Team rankings for the boys. In 6th, Fillmore Central with 36 points. 5th, David City with 40. 4th, Sutton with 62 points. In 3rd, Thayer Central with 70. In 2nd, Centennial with 89. And in 1st, Wilbur Claytonia with 98.
The race currently still belongs to Sandy Creek. Heartland has moved just ahead of David City. Again, this is the first of 2 sections for the girls 4x4. And David City moves ahead of Heartland down this front stretch. So the final 400 meters.
I got to, dude. What do you get? Yeah, I got to get a couple gift cards and then.
What's the occasion? Oh, wait.
Official finals of the boys 4x1 relay that wrapped up a little while ago. Fairbury was 4th, 46.67. Centennial was 3rd in 46.05. Also 46.05 was Sutton, but they give Sutton 2nd there, and it was Wilbur Claytonia in 1st in 45.44. So a really good race. The top 4 separated by 1.2 seconds in the 4x1 relay. Here on the girls 4x4, this is section 1, and it is the Sandy Creek Cougars with a strong finish. Again, these finals by time for the 4x4. David City will come across 2nd, and Heartland will come across 3rd. Which means we will be on to our final girls race of the SNC track meet. And we talked about it a little while ago, but the team race still very much up for grabs. As we begin this last section, Centennial with 86 team points, Fairbury with 83. Now, nobody can catch them team-wise, but a reminder that you get 10 points for first, 8 for second, 6 points for third, fourth gets you 4 points, fifth 2 points, and sixth 1 point. So Centennial, any finish at all above Fairbury, and they're going to have the team title. If Fairbury beats Centennial, they need one team between them and Centennial. So Fairbury needs some help. And when you look at the seed times for this race, you've got Superior at 421.6, Fairbury 421.6, and Centennial 423.9. So you've only got 2 seconds seed-wise separated between Centennial and Fairbury anyway. And, oh, by the way, there is a team that could be between them. So very much up in the air for the final race of the day for the team standing. So not just the race itself, but the team championship is on the line as well. So first runners taking their positions. The final girls' race has been called to on your marks. Off and going for the girls 4x4 relay, Section 2. Again, a reminder, Superior has your top seed time. Fairbury, your second fastest. Centennial, your third fastest. Centennial has the team lead with 86 points. Fairbury is second with 83 points. So any Centennial finish above Fairbury, and they secure the team title. If Fairbury beats Centennial, they need help to win the SNC title. If Fairbury only wins by one place ahead of Centennial, that will not be enough to overtake the Broncos. So if your Centennial second or better secures you the SNC title. But right now, there's a long way to go because Fairbury and Superior are way out front right now. That's Sydney Huss running for Fairbury, or Sarah Huss, excuse me. About to hand off to Joy Ondrak. So the first leg is a good one for Superior and for Fairbury, especially if you're the Jeffs trying to come back on this team title. And Centennial is all the way back in 6th place right now. So a lot of work to do for the Broncos if they want a team title for the SNC. Fairbury and Superior in the race, 1 and 2. The backstretch with the wind at your back, you get a little push yet through the first 50 or 60 meters of the turn. Then it's basically a crosswind for another 50, and about right here you hit dead into the wind. And a good run here at the end for Superior. Again, the Fairbury running second, and Centennial now getting a push here at the end of this leg. And it's a needed push to try to get themselves closer to position. Again, if they get beat by Fairbury and there's one team between them and Fairbury, the Jeffs are going to win the team title. Right now there is exactly one team, and that's, I believe, Fillmore Central. So out there in first is Superior, followed by Fairbury, Fillmore Central, and Centennial. Little push with the wind at their back as they head into the south curve. And the top four bunching up just a little bit. What's going to happen in the final 100 meters of the second leg? The Broncos making a move. Fairbury slowing down. Here comes Centennial. This is big for the team title. The Broncos into second place. A second-place finish would secure the title no matter what. Superior still leading the race. Fairbury back into third, Fillmore Central fourth. Centennial second in the race, Superior leading the race. If we were doing live team scoring, it would still show Centennial on top. Your anchor legs. Again, Centennial just needs to finish ahead of Fairbury. Superior looking good in the final 100 meters. Fairbury would need some help. They're not going to get it. Centennial is going to finish second in the race, and they're going to take the SNC title. Superior will win the 4x4 relay. Centennial will finish second, and that will secure the SNC title. Fairbury will finish in third in the race, and now the race for fourth gets real interesting. Thayer Central coming up quick on Fillmore Central, and at the line might have been Thayer Central in fourth, Fillmore Central in fifth, Wilbur Claytonia in sixth. But with a second place finish, Centennial secures the SNC Girls Team Championship. So congratulations to them. And did exactly what they needed to do. It did not look good after the first leg, but 3 strong legs at the end for the Broncos will give them the team title. So the final 2 races of the day are coming up next on StriveSports.com.
My name is Chris Worth. I'm a diesel tech at Truck Center Companies, Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been here for 9 months now, and I was kind of worried about coming to a bigger shop in a bigger city, but I mean, this is a big shop with kind of a smaller town environment. It was really easy to transition from the school environment to the shop environment. I mean, all the guys here are really friendly, and if I had any questions, they weren't afraid to help me. I think the biggest part for me of wanting to work here was talking to some of the guys, and they pretty much told me that the sky was the limit. I mean, there's all sorts of trainings you can do, and it just never stops, and that's why I wanted to come and work here.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
So the boys' 1,600-meter relay is our final relay of the day. Would like to say thank you to Jamie Bryant at Superior for our lower third graphics that you've seen throughout the day that have told you what racing event was going. I want to say thank you to Jackson and to Owen from Milford who have helped with the live production for us today as well. First of 2 sections for the boys 4x4 relay. We've got Fairbury in 3, Sandy Creek in 4, and Heartland in 5. Team standings prior to this race, Wilbur Claytonia just needs a finish, a top 6 finish, to secure a team title. They're up 9 points on Centennial. Wilbur Claytonia with 98, Centennial with 89, and Thayer Central is third with 70 points as we come into the final event of the day. This is Fairbury, Heartland, and Sandy Creek. 1, 2, and 3.
Results from the girls 4x4. From 6, Wilbur Claytonia. In 5th, Fillmore Central. In fourth, Thayer Central, in third, Fairbury, in second, Centennial, and the winner of the girls 4x4 with a final time of 4 minutes, 21.17 seconds, Superior. Final rankings from the girls. In sixth place, Sandy Creek with 40 points. In fifth, Milford with 54.5 points. In fourth, Thayer Central with 57 points. In third, Superior with 59 points. In second, Fairbury with 89 points. And the winner of the girls' SNC Track Meet is Centennial with 94 points.
And just confirming what we had already mentioned during the race itself, the final individual or final standings on the race of the girls 4x4, Fillmore Central finished in fifth at 4:30.98. Thayer Central was fourth at 4:30.91. Fairbury would finish in third, 4:25.17. Centennial did just enough, 4:23.34. Superior wins the race in 4:21.17, but Centennial with that second place finish does beat Fairbury 94-89 for the team standings. Superior would finish third with 59. Thayer Central would finish in fourth with 57. It's probably also at this point we should put a little asterisk out there that Superior was probably missing 20 points from Kaylin Meyer, who on Saturday was playing AAU volleyball in Texas instead of competing in the SNC track meet. So still scored some points, but might have reshuffled some things a little bit at the top. Now, not just adding 20 only gives you 79, but a few less for Fairbury and probably a few less for Centennial. Might have made it a little bit more interesting had Kaylin participated in the track meet. But bigger and better things for Kaylin Meyer, for sure. In her athletic career. This section one still of the boys 4x4 relay, and just a little bit of cloud cover has suddenly, made it a little cooler in the press box, which ironically has gotten kind of warm with all the sunshine. The Jeffs wrapping up, and again, a finals by time here. Sandy Creek and Heartland second and third. So the final race of the Southern Nebraska Conference track meet is coming up.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
So we are ready for the final race of the meet, the Southern Nebraska Conference meet coming to a close. Thank you to Milford High School for being a host for for 2 days actually, Saturday and here today on Monday. The SNC meet last few years has had trouble starting and finishing on time, whether it was completely postponed. I know that was the case at Heartland a few years ago. We got postponed within a day. At Centennial, Sandy Creek was okay last year. And, this year, Mother Nature has other plans. But this is the final race, the 4x4 relay, Section 2 for the guys. In the race, Fillmore Central in lane 1, Sutton lane 2, David City lane 3, Thayer Central lane 4, Wilbur Claytonia lane 5, Centennial lane 6, Milford lane 7, and Superior in lane 8. Again, Centennial trails Wilbur Claytonia by 9 points to begin this race. So the only way Centennial can win the SNC team title is to win the race and somehow have Wilbur Claytonia finish 7th or 8th, or I guess get DQ'd in this race. Superior, though, looking strong on this first leg. Out there in lane 7, Wilbur Claytonia in lane 5, currently second, followed by Thayer Central. Again, the first lap, all in your lane, and then the first 100 meters or so, all in your lane of the second leg before they can cut in on the backside. David City with a strong kick and a burst. Now the Scouts out front. Thayer Central second, Wilbur Claytonia in third. Somebody finally got a hold of Sandy Creek to tell them, or Superior to tell them they could run, they don't have to run in 8 the whole time. ran in 8 about halfway down the backstretch, though. So David City up front in this one had the third best seed time coming in. Wilbur Claytonia in second. Thayer Central third. Centennial fourth. Superior, Milford, Sutton, Fillmore Central. The rest of your field. Nick Ruth with a lovely mullet on the backstretch leads for a little bit, but Wilbur Claytonia's Tommy Locken has run him down with 200 meters to go on this third leg. Now Ruth back in front. Thayer Central running in third. Again, the Titans had the best seed time coming in at 3:36. David City and Wilbur Claytonia both at 3:40, and Centennial was at 3:42. And here comes Centennial. But it's Ruth of David City giving the Scouts still the lead, and the Broncos of Centennial will hand it off to Jackson Hirschfeld. That's who's got it for Centennial for their last lap. David City's up front. And Thayer Central coming on strong. That is that Zach Koss again? He's been fantastic. David City with the lead. Wilbur Claytonia second. Thayer Central third. At least for now, the final 100 meters into the wind. Here comes Koss of Thayer Central. And the Titans are going to have a 4x4 victory. Hirschfeld and Wiseman in the battle for 4th and 5th. It'll be Thayer Central, David City, Wilbur, Centennial, Sutton, and Milford. Your top 6. So that will give Wilbur Claytonia the SNC team title with that second place finish in the race. 98 points coming into the race, so another 8 onto that. Centennial will finish second in the team standings, Thayer Central will finish in third. We will also have the link to the official results for all of the events on the Strive Sports page that you're watching right now. That's a great camera angle, Jackson. Good job getting the Milford Eagle trailer there. So, again, thanks to Milford High School for being gracious hosts for the SNC track meet. We'll be back here again in the fall for the SNC volleyball tournament. We'll be at Centennial for basketball again next year. And it will be year 8 for Strive TV. So thanks to everyone who has joined us on the journey, all of the SNC schools, part of the Strive Network, and happy to have them all available. Again, thanks to Jamie at Superior for handling our graphics this for the last couple games, actually. Did a nice job with those lower thirds on the track events, so thanks to them. We will also have some special photos and videos from Ben Mohorn, and you know Ben does the best work when we give him a few days after the event is over to put something together. So be checking out the Strive Sports social medias in the next couple of days for that information. So until next time, I'm Strive Sports Director Eric Olga saying thanks and so long from Milford.